Welcome to Rent-A-Friend Radio, where we use logic and reason in every season to maintain compliance with wisdom and science. I am your friend at a very reasonable hourly rate, Rent-A-Friend 2000, the man with a plan to bring the facts on stacks of wax, showering the nation with science education. And today we are answering your listener mail. No matter how many times we go over this, people still like to stop by and argue that snakes have legs. Have you ever seen a snake? They're like a lizard, only they don't have legs. That's how you know it's a snake. But even though a lack of legs is a defining characteristic of snakes, I still have people trying to educate me about the snake. Longtime listener and frequent caller of the Science Foundation sent me this comment and a link to a National Geographic article. She says, "Not only do some snakes have legs, all snakes have the pseudogenes for legs. Whales have the pseudogenes for legs, humans have the pseudogenes for tails and egg yolks, birds have the pseudogenes for conical teeth, and so on." The article she links to doesn't say quite as much as she does about snakes having legs. What it implies, more than actually states, is that snakes have some genes which, if they were switched on at the right time, would maybe possibly grow legs or something like them. It says, "Why snakes don't have legs, for now. Bum bum bum. Snakes used to have legs. Now they have evolved, but the gene to grow limbs still exists. It's one of the strangest body plans in vertebrates," University of Florida biologist Martin C. Cohn said when describing the findings. "An enhancer controls the activation of the sonic hedgehog gene." Now, at this point in the article, I thought, okay, someone's making a joke, right? Right? The sonic hedgehog gene? I mean, apparently National Geographic thinks that's a real thing, so let's just go with it. An enhancer controls the activation of the sonic hedgehog gene, causing it to flicker on and off. In snakes, a mutation in the enhancer keeps the gene from staying in the on position, allowing for limbs to grow. So he's saying that they've got the gene, but they've got another gene that keeps the gene from turning on. Then they say this. "What that means is it's possible for the pythons of today to grow legs, and it doesn't take a whole evolutionary cycle to do so." Evolutionary cycle. That's one of the settings on my washing machine, ironically. Now, you may be expecting me to argue with some of this. I can, as Science Foundation is making a pile of assumptions built on pseudoscience, as is National G, but I won't. There is no need. Let's assume the Science Foundation is right and snakes used to have legs, and now they retain the gene for legs, as do whales, and humans used to have tails and birds used to have teeth. All of this is stupid, but let's run with it. She is trying to argue that the evidence supports evolution. But what evidence has she provided? She has shown that the structures and functions which used to exist have gone away. Now let me say this slowly and carefully enough so even roach clowns can understand it. Proving that structures and functions which used to exist have gone away does not support evolution. Evolution is the attempt to explain where things come from. So showing evidence that some have gone away is not the same thing. You cannot add by subtracting. You cannot explain where legs come from by showing an animal which used to have legs no longer has legs. Come on, people, this is basic math. Snakes had legs. Legs went away. Legs going away does not demonstrate where legs came from. Snakes still have the genes for legs, but the genes don't work anymore? Non-functional genes do not prove that genes can come into being by accident without an intelligent designer. This story is built on the idea that the snake used to have functional genes which no longer function. This is a loss of functional genes over time. This is the exact opposite of evolution. Ironically, this is exactly what the biblical creation model would predict, and specifically it predicts ancient snakes used to have legs. See Genesis chapter 3. But the Science Foundation has put one more nail in the coffin of Chuck D. Birds used to have teeth? Well, this means that the only fossil which shows features of more than one kind, Archaeopteryx, should not be considered by any evolutionist as a transitional form. Why was Archaeopteryx considered a transitional form from birds to lizards? Because it looks just like a flying bird. Bird body, bird feathers, bird beak, but it has teeth. But Science Foundation just told us that the birds of today have the genes to make teeth. They just aren't switched on. If that's true, then naturally we would expect to find fossils of birds who, in the past, had teeth. Thus, Science Foundation has just unwittingly argued that Archaeopteryx is merely a bird, not a transitional form, which leaves pretty much zero transitional fossils for the evolutionist to point to. Funny. I'll bet she thought this conversation was going to go much differently. Oh, and by the way, if a gene is not causing snakes to have legs, then why would you expect that it can? Because National Geographic says so? Hey, you'll forgive me if I don't jump on that bandwagon. Not for me. I'm gonna make like a snake and walk. See what I did there? Yeah. This is your Rent-A-Friend saying thanks for listening to Rent-A-Friend Radio. Don't wait for fate, there's no debate. I'm your friend at a very reasonable hourly rate. You dudes and dearies, send me your queries and I'll holler back Jack with answers and facts. I'll see you again. I hate this to end, but thanks for letting me be your Rent-A-Friend.